What is up, guys, and welcome back to the Kamikaze Podcast. I'm your host, JP, and I'm not joined by my co-host, it's Morgs today. He's had a lot going on. He just attended the funeral of his, I believe, best friend who just recently passed away. So he's going through a lot right now. Also, he did some live streaming on YouTube. Make sure you go check his YouTube out. It's in the description. Also, TJ, hey, what's up? Introducing you in a weird way, but I know you're starting a YouTube channel as well. What are you hoping to do? What are your ideas and hopes for that?
Well, I think I discussed this with you. I want to actually start up a channel that is going to teach people about Photoshop and Illustrator and InDesign and all of these Adobe platforms, basically just teaching people the basics as to how to get from point A to point B. A lot of people are trying to get into the graphic industry only because it's the new way, like the way of technology nowadays. So yeah, that's basically what I'm trying to do. I'm hoping to get started in the next week or so. Can't make any promises, but yeah.
Definitely, and we'll put her link to her channel in the description. I know, definitely, like you said, graphics and all that is like definitely the way of the future. It's the way things are headed.
Yep.
Advertising, especially, that kind of thing.
Yeah, a lot of people are looking for that now, and not even that. People want to do their own graphics because no one wants to pay someone else to do it. So
right, and YouTube is a free, easy way they can sit down and have a video playing while they're doing it hands-on on their computer. I think that's a really good idea. Anyway, so what are we gonna talk about today, Nika?
So we are talking about something that's very controversial. We actually going to be talking about issues about like relating to body image. So we're going to go into a bit of like plastic surgery issues, perfect body problems that we are all facing in society, and also about social media and how social media has pressured us into certain things. So that's going to be our topics for today, and hopefully you guys get some good, I don't even know what to say, good info. Is it info, Josh? Would it be info? Some juicy stories. I don't know.
We're so good.
We'll see how it goes.
We're so good at podcasting, guys.
We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. Whether you guys will like it or not, that's up to you.
It's gonna be more of a serious
preference.
It's gonna be more of a serious topic, but something that I've always talked about this with different people. Is the way that whenever you look at these Instagram models, and I'm not going to say any names particularly, but when you look at these different Instagram models, what they use is they use Photoshop, they use Facetune, they use all these different means to make their appearance look basically like picture perfect. And then people wonder, why is there so much depression? Why is the suicide rates for teenagers rising by the day? And it's a lot because of that. It's a lot because of these kids are so like self-conscious about the way they look, about the way they act, and these teenage girls, especially girls, even guys. I mean, guys deal with this as well, but I'm saying specifically girls. They look at these Instagram models and they're like, why isn't my body like that? And they don't realize that it's not even physically possible for your body to be like that. And their body and the models' bodies are not like that in real life. They're just Photoshop like that. So I think it's a very sad reality that the world has come to this, where you can't be comfortable, and people won't like accept you in your own body and the way you like are in real life. You have to be this perfect like Barbie doll for someone to accept you.
Yeah, I think the other thing is that it's all about the likes that we get, not just on like Instagram platform, but like on all social media that everyone has. It's like everything that you put out there, you want people to like more. And I've noticed like what you said now about how females are generally the ones that seem to really struggle with this because of the physical stuff that's been put out there. Like all of these beautiful women that just look so gorgeous that everyone wants to look like that. I actually think it's also a matter of there's also a lot of cyberbullying that happens with that as well.
Definitely.
Especially for females. Like even cyberbullying is taking it too far. Just talking about a high school scenario, you would have girls constantly teasing you about things. So I think the gold side is kind of more than just the social media platform where it hits home, because it's all about your appearance, even your off hours. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, definitely.
So You mentioned something about, I think it was like Tune something. What was it called?
Facetune.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so Facetune, I just want to point out something. You had also said that Photoshop has been used several times, especially on models. So you looking at, because I'm a graphic designer, I kind of look at details for a lot of things. So you looking at a picture and you see this girl looking gorgeous as ever, and then we get people that create these apps that people think will do the exact same job,
Right.
but it's not going to do the same job. Like, it's a professional doing his job in comparison to you doing it. So it's a give and take situation there. So I just think that apps are just, I love apps for filters.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a filter fanatic, but
Oh yeah.
other than
Always
that,
gotta have
it's
that filter.
yeah, I love filters, but I would not say that these apps are actually gonna make you look better in any way. It's just gonna distort you
And
in so many ways because
I
it's
don't.
just
I want to
not,
make it clear that I'm obviously not saying that people
the
shouldn't
app is
use
bad.
these things. I mean, by all
Yeah.
means, if you want to enhance yourself, you want to make yourself look better. By all means, that's your choice. And I'm not saying that it's always bad. Making yourself better is what the human life is about. It's what about
Mm-hmm.
everything is about. So, better you is what we're working towards. So like. I'm not saying it's a bad thing necessarily, but I'm saying these models and stuff that these teenagers look up to, and that they're their role models and everything, and they're really just fake. They're false. They're not really who they claim to be.
Mm. And for instance, I look at you saying that also makes me realize that it's not just teenagers that are sitting in this era of problems. It's also adults that are struggling because they see a 35-year-old woman who is looking bad, and she might not all be, that great. She might
Mm.
have dimples in her legs, cellulite. She might have rolls, but because of it being photoshopped so well, no one knows. And it's really heartbreaking because I know I have like deep insecurities about cellulite, like a deep insecurity about it.
Mm.
And that's not just something that came up now when social media kind of blew up. It was like before that even. I wouldn't be
Right.
caught dead in a bikini, like just standing in just a bikini. I would never be caught dead wearing a bikini. You would see me with a big t-shirt on, shorts or something over. I was just too conscious of it.
Yeah.
So that was still is one of my biggest what do you say? What is it called? One of my biggest fears, I think, to like just be free with nothing on. I'm always wearing something. Always.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. That definitely ties into what I was saying as far as people don't accept you for who you are. You have to be this perfect, and basically like a Barbie doll, for
Mhm.
people to even like recognize you. If you're not,
Mhm.
you're just kind of like kicked to the back of the crowd.
Yeah. And that's the thing. When we talk about bodies, it's so sad because I remember I was like anorexic skinny. Like, if you had to see me back in the day, people would think that I was actually anorexic because I was so skinny and I was tall and lanky. And then when I started gaining weight, people were like, "Oh my gosh, see, like you're gaining weight. Like you need to lose weight." And I'm like, "What do you people want from me?" Like,
Mm.
I was skinny and now I gain weight, and it's like, "Oh no, you gone too fat." I'm like, you know what? I can't deal with people anymore
Nothing's
about
ever
my
good enough for
body.
you.
It's my body. And then the funniest part is you get celebrities are into the plastic surgery.
Mm.
Um, Everyone knows Kim Kardashian was one of the first people to have the booty, you
Oh
know?
yeah.
And she blew up for that. Like she literally blew up for that. And then all of a sudden, my body shape was accepted, and I was like, so it took a celebrity for you guys to accept that you could have this type of shape. Like, what goes
Right.
on in the world? So the plastic surgery thing is just on another level. I don't know if you have anything on that. Have you got any?
Plastic surgery, I think it's definitely a very debatable topic, and
Mm,
I think it's a great thing for people to have. Let's say you do have a deformity of some sort, and you want to, let's say let's say you're like, for example, your nose is deformed,
Yeah.
and you want to change that just to make yourself better. I think that's a great asset for people to have, but I think definitely people abuse it, and they. I mean, like I said, it's such a controversial, debatable subject. Like I'm saying, like obviously it's your choice if you want to get plastic surgery done, but
Yeah.
I think people take it way too far. Also, another thing that I think I was talking to you about was that how these minors, like I think it's 14, you can get plastic surgery with consent, with parental consent in the state of California, I believe, maybe 16. But I just feel like that shouldn't be allowed.
I think that's so crazy because it's like it's also alterating. Wow, what English am I speaking? It's altering a body that is so young and still has so much time and much potential to grow. And that's the thing. It's like if I was my 16-year-old self again and I had an opportunity to have plastic surgery done or get a job done or whatever the case is, like I don't think I would have been able to do it because like now I look back and I'm like, yes, I was skinny, but now I'm like I've gained that weight and I
You've
do
matured.
need all of that. And it's like if I was that person, like how do you know the funniest part, these people go and they do these plastic surgeries done. And then 4 or 5 years later, they're going right back to go and fix.
Oh yeah.
Because what has happened, the body has now changed over the years, and now it's time to repair what has been distorted or shifted or whatever the case is. And I'm not saying plastic surgery is bad. I'm just saying for someone that young, I feel that it's very heartbreaking because they haven't really grown as yet. And it's sad. It's just sad. I don't think that's okay.
Also, teenagers. Well, speaking as a teenager, I know like they're very easily manipulated, and they like it just brings us back to the social media thing. They are very like highly affected by their role models, their idols, whatever, and they're like, oh, I want to look like them. And like you said, they haven't matured yet. Their body hasn't developed yet into who they will look like.
JP, I don't know if you remember the story or the challenge that went out Kylie Jenner lips.
With like the Botox kind of thing, yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't even Botox. It was literally sucking on a
Oh yeah, I remember that. Oh yes.
spiral. And I'm just thinking about all these body modifications that people are doing so young, and that was one of those body modifications that went viral to the extent of where people were actually getting rushed into ER because of it. And like,
They were hurting
intense.
themselves. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. Because it's like you're cutting off the circulation to your lips. So you sucking air out, you're pulling it on your lips, and there's no blood flow. So people were actually getting rushed into that. And why? Because social media is telling you that this is what we want. And this is what we give. And they keep giving and keep giving. And it's like, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy.
They say this is what will make you look pretty. This is what will make you look hot. This is what will make you
Exactly.
desirable to, your love of your life. Another thing that it really makes me mad. And it kind of intertwines with the whole plastic surgery and minor thing. But when we talk about, it's a whole nother critter, starting to talk about like bottom surgery, like sexual change surgery. And I know that minors under the age of 18 can get this surgery done with parental consent. And I'm just like, what? Like it's... I don't think anyone should be able to do that, like a gender change surgery, until they're at least 18. Because I think that when you're going through puberty, especially when you're going through adolescence, going through those crucial years of your teenage life, when you hate your body, when you hate like whatever is going on, I don't think that teenagers are stable enough to make that, like mentally, to make that huge of a decision that will be with them for the rest of their life.
Yeah.
Obviously, I think a lot of teenagers have gone through a stage where they think like, am I gay? or am I like another gender, or do I identify as another gender? I think a lot of teenagers go through that just because of social media, because of all the celebrities that go through it. I'm not saying that it's necessarily wrong, but I'm saying like they're like, oh, you know, so and so is transgender. Am I? You know.
I don't know whether it's just like for me, personally, I think that it's great if you are gay. I do not have an issue with people that are gay or lesbian or any of that, like anything of that sort. Like, I think it's great. But I also feel that you need to be old enough to know that you are going to take that step, because there's no way of reversing it. And that's what's sad, is that people go through it and then find out 5 years later they're actually straight. And it's kind of hard to take back what you've already done. You know what I mean?
And they do have like preventative measures with that as well. I know they do. I believe you have to go through at least 6 months to 2 years of counseling with a psychiatrist before you can even get approved to get this bottom surgery done. Just to see, you know, if it is just a phase or if you're actually committed to making this decision.
Well, if you get it done, good for you. Like, hey,
it's your life, right? It's your decision. It's your life.
Live your life.
We're not right. It's if that's what makes you happy, then you know.
It's just a matter of
knock yourself out, right? Knock yourself out.
It's a matter of opinion. Like, I don't want people to be like all upset about what we've said, and it's nothing to do with anyone specific. We're just talking about these topics that are troublesome for us, I guess. Would you say that?
I guess, yeah. It's just something that's been on my mind for a while. I definitely wanted to talk about it at some point in the podcast, but I think it's a good time to have.
I think maybe in a deeper context as well. Maybe when Morgan's back, we'll get back into it, like into deeper details about it. Also, I think we all need to just do a little bit of research,
get some actual like facts, get some actual statistics and stuff like that.
Yeah. But the whole body changing thing. Okay, so I actually had considered, funny enough, I had considered doing body sculpting. For those who don't know what that is, so you get body sculpting, which can be either done the exact same way as getting like lipo, which is sucked out of your body. So getting a syringe stuck into your tummy and sucking the fat out. Or there was this thing called, I don't know if it's called freeze lipo, but it's basically, it's called laser lipo. There we go. And laser lipo was basically, it freezes the fat cells. And as time goes by, with you just doing your regular day-to-day process, your fat actually will burn away because it's frozen solid, so it melts. I had actually considered doing this for probably a good 6 months, because I constantly kept getting questions about my weight gain. And it had actually hit home where it was like, oh, maybe I should do something about it. Like, because I'm not one for the gym, you know. You get those people that are like for the gym, and then you get those that are like,
oh yeah, definitely.
I was one of those, and it like got to a point where it was almost like it was like a problem, like a mental problem for me. And I eventually was like, you know what, forget it. I'm not even gonna worry about it right now. At the end of the day, I am who I am, and I accepted it.
I actually know, kind of on the same topic, of like liposuction. I know a couple of people that went through, I believe it's called gastric banding, which, if anyone doesn't know, it's basically, it constricts your stomach, which also constricts your appetite. It constricts the amount of food you can eat, constricting the amount of calories you intake and everything.
I've heard of that.
And I actually have seen like some dramatic differences. Obviously, I think these solutions do work, and if it's something that you want to spend money on, if it's a decision that you want to make in your life, go ahead, knock yourself out. I think it would be, if you give enough thought, if you want to make sure that it's something you do want to do, if it's something you feel right about doing, I think it's a great idea. But I don't think it's for everyone. And
Yeah, definitely. I think also if you have the money to do it and you feel keen about it, go for it. Like at the end of the day, it's your body, it's your choices. You get to do what you want to do to it. So like as I said, I was considering the body sculpting, which is actually it's fairly reasonable back home. But the catch with the one that I was doing was that you had to do multiple sessions.
mm,
So you couldn't just do one. So you could be paying like, for instance, you could be paying like $20 a session, but it was like working out, and I'm talking in dollars because back home it was like roughly in that range.
mhm,
So you're paying $20 per session, but you need like 10 sessions to start seeing results. So
right.
it was just like a kind of moment where you're like, should I, shouldn't I, should I, shouldn't I? By the time you look, you spent like over $100, and back home that's quite a bit. So
Right.
it wasn't worth it for me. And I just kept doing my research on it as well, and I was like, you know what, it's a waste of my time. Like I could probably get back into gymming or fitness or eating healthier, and it
Right.
could help.
I think if you are going to go on any sort of surgery, but especially these body altering surgeries, make sure first of all you've done your research. Make sure that you are first of all mentally and physically prepared to do this and change your body like forever. Something you're gonna have to live with forever, unless
Especially if you're
you
going under the knife. Especially if you're going under the knife, because
right.
that's
Oh yeah.
you're
Um,
going to pain.
and also make sure you get with the right people, like the right doctor, the right therapist that can help you, and talk to a psychiatrist. Make sure that it is really what you want.
Yeah. Find out if there's not alternative option as well. Like
Right.
that's the thing. Like we all try and find the quick and easy route out of things, especially because, as we said, social media is probably one of the biggest catches for all of us, basically, because we all sit on social media, and what do we actually do? I go on Instagram on a regular basis to do what? Scroll
Mm.
and just look at people. Sounds so creepy, but it's what I do. It's like I just go on Instagram to scroll and look at other people, and I'm like, oh wow, okay. And then you'll see like all these people that are like super fit and whatnot, and I'm like,
Right.
wow. And then you see these hourglass girls that are built so beautifully, and they have perfect skin, and you're like, why can't I look like that? And then it's like, this is unrealistic. That's why you can't look like this girl. Like, come on, get with the pages.
Well, it's not physically
Um,
possible. It's not. That's not them either.
that's
They
the thing.
that what the funny thing is, it's actually hilarious because you have all these millions of fans wishing they could look like let's for example Cardi B. I'm not saying she doesn't look good in real life. She has a great body in real life, but I'm saying in pictures she does use some sort of Photoshop to enhance. And it's funny is all these millions of fans like I wish I could look like her. She wishes she could look like that too. That's why she uses Photoshop.
You know, the funniest thing is talking about celebrities. I had no idea for years. I used to love Beyonce's legs. Absolutely love. Like, I love Beyonce to like another level. And I used to always look at her legs and be like, damn, her legs look so good. And then to find out that she wears fishnet stockings. And I was like,
Yeah.
what? Why? And they were like, it holds it all together and it camouflages cellulite. I was like, what? How? Who? Why don't people share this information? Like, come on. Like, I think everyone would be wearing it. Like, she literally rocks it. Like, that was one reason why I think I absolutely love it. Was her legs. Her legs just like it stole my heart. Her legs stole my heart. And because she has a butt, it's like you would expect cellulite, but then you see
Right.
her legs and it's just always smooth.
Disappointment.
Meanwhile, back at the ranch, it was all through stockings. All through stockings.
That's great.
Yeah, so it's just, I think social media has played such a huge impact on our generation to the point of where I think that a lot of the suicide situations are due to it. Wow, can't speak English. um, a lot of the suicides are actually linked to it. A lot of these homicides that are happening are linked to social media. It's all about who you
Definitely.
are, how many followers you have, how many likes are you getting, and it's just
Mm.
it's a very depressing platform that we're in at the moment, like stage.
Right.
Um, I know sometimes it's very depressing to just go on. Like I go on Facebook, whew, someone is always getting married
Posting like baby pictures and
or
stuff.
having babies, and I'm
Right.
just like, guys, I'm 24.
Right.
I am in a relationship, yes, but I ain't ready for that kind of commitment.
Not
Like,
going that way yet.
I need to make some money before I do any of these things. And yeah, I go on Facebook, and it's just like, so and so got married. I like literally, I'll scroll like one person down. It's a wedding picture. I go one
For
more up,
real.
and it's like someone's baby. I'm like, you know what? I'm off. I'm off.
I'm leaving.
I literally just close the app because I'm
Mm.
like, this is what social media has become. We post every single moment of our lives. Like,
So that ties in with my whole. I mean, even starting with like Smule, meeting you guys on Smule, meeting a lot of great people on Smule, moving on to the podcast, all social media, everything, Instagram, Facebook. I don't have any pictures of me anywhere. I've never showed my face on Smule. I've never showed my face on camera. And also in my upcoming YouTube career, which I will be posting more information on that. But I'm just kind of gathering assets. But I am planning on starting YouTube full time. But anyway, so the whole anonymous, not showing my face thing, it's a lot of people are like, oh, you're just self-conscious about the way you look. I think it's just a lot of mixture of things. It's, yes, I do have some sort of self-consciousness about the way I look. But also I want it to not be about me. I want my content, I want everything to not be about me. I want it to be about the content. I want people to be interested in what I'm saying, what I'm doing, not just like for my looks, which I really don't have any. But what I'm saying is like, I'm just saying like I want it to be not about me. I don't like being in the spotlight. I've always been a photographer, been behind the camera. I'm not in the shot, so it's just kind of something that like a lot of people are like, oh, you're just self-conscious, and you should just get over it and get on camera. I'm like, no, that's not the main reason, So
yeah, yeah, I get you. I just, I think I'm just thinking about the social media thing and the platform on social media. It's gone to another level of crazy because, you know, you do something, you must take a picture. You go somewhere, you should take a picture. And I'm like, can I not just take the picture and keep it in my in my files of
right.
pictures? Like it doesn't need to be shared. Like I take pictures, like this is the funniest thing. I'll take pictures like 3 weeks ago, and then I'll post it today. And then people are like, oh my gosh, you look so pretty. And I'm like, ha 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 ha. That was 3 weeks ago. I haven't brushed my hair in the last week. Like, I look rough right now. Like,
That's what I do is when I just save pictures of myself when I think I look good, and then
yeah.
on the days I look terrible, I just send those like, this is me today, 5 minutes ago, totally.
But that's the thing. Like,
Woke up like this.
I think I'm starting to kind of not resent social media, but kind of like pulling away from it because social media has gone to the extent of where it's like everything should be live, and I'm like, I like my business to stay my business. It's just a personal thing. I don't like people in my business. Like if I
Same.
post and I say where I am, it's just for the sake of saying where I am. It's not because I want you to be interested. It's just like, oh hey, I'm in New York. Like, oh, she's in New York. Cool. That's all I want. There's nothing else. But then you have people that start lives, and I'm like,
Right.
like I think I said it to you the other day. I was like, my social media is clean of any photos with alcohol bottles, with people smoking, with anything that has to do with um bad publicity. Like my photos are clean of that,
Right.
especially on my social media, because I don't believe that, like, for the job that I'm doing now as an au pair, we get told straight up, your host parents are going to look at your social media, and what is on your social media obviously defines who you are.
Right.
And a lot of people don't get that. So like, I don't post memes for a reason. I don't post certain pictures for a reason. If you post a picture of me and I'm holding maybe a bottle of something that is an alcoholic beverage, you post it on Facebook, I will report you for that. You post it on Instagram, I will report you for it. You will take it down. I do not approve it. Like, unless you have spoken to me about it, don't just put it up there. Like, I'm not one of those people. Don't put it up there. Like, I don't need people knowing about my business.
I feel that. You know, it's funny because Morgan, he was on, like I said, he was doing a live stream on YouTube earlier, and he used my name. I was like, bruh. I probably shouldn't have said that because now people are going to go and look at his live stream.
Yeah, you probably shouldn't. But it's all good. It's all good. It's all good.
You don't know when you're going to have to listen to an hour of like boring Morgan talking about nothing for an hour. So if you want to sit through that torture, then go ahead. I'm just kidding. Morgan love people.
Are you talking to me or someone else?
Anyway, guys, I think we can wrap it up here. I think that was yeah, Nika's like so excited. She's like, I can't wait to leave.
That's not that I can't wait to leave. It's just that, you start talking and then it's like your mouth gets dry. So all I'm thinking about is Arizona. Like, literally,
I literally have 3 gallons of Arizona iced tea with me. So
I'm like, I need a can of Arizona. Like,
I'll pour some through the microphone. Wait, let me try.
But anyway.
Wait, let me try.
No, I don't want that.
Wait, hold on. Let me try.
No.
Wait, no, hold on. Wait. Okay, no, yeah, no. Not a good idea. Not a good idea.
Are you gonna wrap it up?
Are you gonna wrap it up?
Are you gonna wrap it up?
You gonna wrap it up? You gonna wrap it up?
I'll wrap it up. Don't mind us.
Guys, thank you so much for listening to this episode. If you liked it, please make sure to drop us a like, comment, and also subscribe to our YouTube channel. Make sure to follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Real Kamikaze. Make sure you just let us know what you think. Give us some ideas, some topic ideas. We're desperate.
Please,
yes.
For that. Like, we need your feedback. The more feedback we get, the more interesting our podcast will get.
Even so criticism,
keep in contact with us. We're happy to have you guys send us messages anytime.
Definitely. And also we're planning on having a couple of guests on the podcast as well, so look forward to that.
Yay!
But anyway, as always, I forgot Morgan's not here. Bye, guys.
Bye.